Hello, student. I am Dr. Sharma, Assistant Professor at Telangana University. Student, uh, today we discuss about fifth unit, economic system. An economic system is a mechanism with the help of which the government plans and allocates accessible services, resources, and commodities across the country. Economic system manage elements of production, combining wealth, labor, physical resources, and business people. An economic system incorporates many companies, agencies, objectives, models, and deciding procedure. It means economics an economic system is a means by which society or government organize and distribute available resources, services, and goods across a region, geographical region or country. Economic system regulate the factors of production, including land, capital, labor, and physical resources. And economic system uh, includes many institutions, agencies, and decision-making process and patterns and conceptions that comprise economic structure of the community. So, an economic refers to a way a nation makes economic choices about how the nation will use its resources to produce and distribute goods and services. The Indian economy was called an underdevelopment economy, but slowly become a developing economy. But it now referred as the mixed economy. An economic system is defined by a way wherein the country's resources are utilized to produce goods and services in such manners that these goods and services are distributed for consumption. It is a system that involves production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services between the entities in a particular society. The economy of India stands on the world fifth largest according to market exchange rate, and it's also the third largest economy based on purchasing power. The economic system was based on the basis of social democratic policies from the year of 1947 to 1991. So, in this video, we also discuss about the economic system and how the circular flow of goods and money in the economic system, in which the prediction of many goods is organized to satisfy many wants of human beings. In our economic system, the two economic units, mainly household and enterprises, are linked by a circular pattern of economic activities as illustrated in the figure. The choice and the decision of these two main units are the deriving forces of economic activities. So, because uh, the resources are limited, but the desires are unlimited, so we have to give the place of the choice. So, many patterns for consumption goods and services, consumer goods and services, food, clothing, etc. Output of the business sector, as you see in the screen, household consumer final goods and services produced by business sectors and provide inputs because the household also provide inputs to the firm's business as labor and capital to business firm. Just like a business enterprise provide goods and services to consumer. They manufacture the goods and services are also goods and services to the consumer and use resources. These resources which is given by the household, the business and enterprises use resources input provided by household. So economic resources, land, labor and capital, inputs of business sector. So we made so payment for the resources, rent, wages and salaries, interest and profit, flow of goods, services, resources are, and money payment is a simple economy. In their household, people make two sets of decision selling the inputs they own, primarily their labor, and B buying goods with their income. First of all, the household give their services and then they get the incomes. And with it incomes, they also purchase goods and services. So the enterprises or businessmen engage in production using the labor and all other inputs for the household. The goods produced by the farms and sold ultimately to the household. So capitalism. Capitalism, first of all, we discuss the history of capitalism. The history of capitalism is diverse and has many schools, but capitalism is still thought by scholars to have emerged to northwestern Europe, especially in Great Britain and the Netherlands in the 16th and 17th century over the following centuries. Capital accumulations by a variety of methods at a variety of scales and associated with much variations in the concentrations of wealth and economic power. Capitalism gradually became the dominant economic system throughout the world. Adam Smith was born on 5 June 1723 and died in 17 July 1790. He wrote a book in 1776 named The Wealth of Nations. And Adam Smith, Scottish political economist known as the father of capitalism. Adam Smith is known as the father of capitalism, where capitalism is equal to profit plus money plus freedom. An economy in which a country's trade and industry are controlled by private owner for profit rather than by the state. When private business owned by people controlled the economy rather than the government. So, capitalism is an economic system and a mode of production in which trade, industries, and the means of production are largely or entirely privately owned by the operated for the profit. So, you can say that capitalism is often thought of as an economic system in which private actors own and control property in according with their interest. And the demand and the supply freely set prices in the market in a way that can serve the best interest of society. The essential features of capitalism is the motive to make a profit, and the professor Adam Smith is considered the 18th century philosopher. He's the father of the modern economics and also called the father of the capitalism economy. So, in the capitalist economy, private property, which allow people to own tangible assets such as land, house, and tangible assets such as land, houses, and intangible assets such as stocks and bonds to use with their interest and self-interest through which people act in pursuit to their own goods without regard, without any pressure uh, and competition through firms freedom to entry and exit market maximization social welfare, that is the joint welfare of both producer and consumer. So capitalism is an economic system and the mode of production in which trade, industries, and the mean of production are largely and entirely privately owned. and operate for them. So when money function like this, it function like capital. When company uses its profit to hire more staff or open new premises and make more profit. So uh, the mainly capitalism, the private property which allow the people to work to their self-interest, which people use their money for the for to increase and also get innovation to increase profit, competitions, and there is a free exit and entry of the market, maximization social welfare. That is the joint welfare of both producer and consumer. A market mechanism that determine price in a decentralized manners through the interaction between buyers and seller. So, and the consumer is freedom to choose with the respect to consumption, productions, and investment. So, capitalism is that economy which work mostly more profit. Now we discuss about the features of the capitalist. First of all, private property. Capitalistic system allow and recognizes the institutions of private property. Anyone can earn, acquire of self property. The property can be passed on to the here's in inheritance. So, in the capitalist system, the people can use their own property to earn the profit and to get a high living standard. And next step, profit motives. This is the essential of capitalism. The motive of every economy activities will be the profit. Profit motives is the driving forces and individual partnerships and the joint stock companies and people will take huge risks to earn large profit. So capitalism is an economic system which is characterized by the private ownership of the means of production with labor solely paid wages. Capitalists depend on the enforcement of private property rights, which provide incentives for the investment and productive use of capital. Capitalists develop out of the feudalism and marketalism in the Europe and dramatically expanded industrializations and the large scale abilities of the mass market consumer goods. They work for the to earn the more and more profit. Capitalism is one type of system of economic production and resources distribution. Instead of um, planning economic decision through centralized political method as with socialism or feudalism, economic planning. So capitalism mainly is an economic system in which means of production, factories, tools, machines, raw materials are organized by one more businesses and honor also a capitalism. So in the capitalism, it gives the personal freedom. People enjoy personal freedom in economic activities. This implies freedom to enterprise, as I say, that capitalism is essentially an economic system in which the means of production, factories, tools, machineries, raw material are organized by one or more business owners and also known as capitalist um, and freedom to contract, freedom to enterprises, freedom of production, freedom in consumption, and perfect competition. So, capitalists then have workers to operate the means of production in returns for wages. Workers have no claim, no on the means of production or on the profit generated from the labor. These belongs to the capitalism. So, as such, private property rights are fundamental to the capitalists, such everyone is free in economic field. Many people would compete in production and distribution. Sellers and producers freely compete among themselves. Buyers will compete to buy their goods. Workers will compete to getting and planning. Due to competition, the fitness will survive. And next, price mechanism. Under cap, I think you have to understood it well, strengths. So, next, under capitalists, the mechanism makes an automatic adjustment in production, distribution, and consumption. All activities revolves around the price mechanism as a private property. Private property rights are fundamental to capitalism. More modern concept to private property stems from the John Locke theory of homesteading. So, private property promotes efficiency by giving the owner of the resources an incentive to maximize the value of their property. Uh, and the price is and the capitalism is an initial and economic system in which the means of production, factories, tools, mechanisms, raw material, etc., are organized by one businessman's capital, by one or more businessman capitalists than hire workers to operate the means of production in returns for wages. Workers have no claims on means of productions and on the profit generated from the laborers. And next step, time mechanism. Under capitalism, time mechanism makes an automatic adjustment in production, distribution, and consumption. So all revolves around the price mechanism, competition. In capitalism, there is a extreme competition between the capitalism demand is artificially increased. So with the competition, innovation also takes place and increase and demand, supply is the decrease. There is a cut thought competition under the capitalism. These institutions, the objective of the capitalist is to pay as less wage as the possible and to take as much work as out of him. Next step, money and credit. In capitalism, institutions of credit has become important. Capitalism get money or loan and develop their business. Means profits are closely associated with the concept of private property. So an individual only enter into the voluntary exchange of private property when they please the exchange benefits than in the some materials being. In such trades, each party gains the extra subjective value of profit from the transactions. The profit motives or the desire to earn profit from business activity is the driving force of capital. Is create a competition environment in which businesses compete to be the low cost producer of a certain goods in order to gain market share. If it is more profitable to produce a different types of goods, then a business is incentivized to switch. So a capitalism earn the highest profit by using capital goods such as machinery and tools and most efficiently while producing the highest value goods and services. By contrast, the capitalists suffer losses when capital resources aren't used efficiently and instead create less valuable profit. So, voluntary trade is another related to mechanisms that drive actively in a capitalist system. The owner of the resources compete with one another over consumer who is in turn competing with other consumer over goods and services. All this activity is built into the price system, which balances supply and demand to coordinate the distribution of resources. And here uh, you also study laissez-faire competition. There is no government control over the forces of production and distributions and exchange. It is controlled by the forces operating in the market. So, capitalism is an economic system that focuses on the free market to determine the most efficient allocation of resources, sets prices based on supply and demand. Socialism is often presented in the present further video. We also discuss about the socialism. Socialism is often presented as the opposite of capitalism, whereby there is no free market and the allocation of resources is determined by a central body. But in capitalism has many unique features, some of which include a two-class system, private ownership, a profit motives, minimal minimum government interventions and competitions. Two-class system, capitalist society was characterized by the split between two classes of individuals. The capitalist class, which own the means for producing and distribution goods, and the working class who sell their labor to the capitalist class in exchange for wages and the workers. The economy is run by individual corporation that own the operate companies and make decision as to the use of resources. But there exists a division of labor that allow for specialization, typically occurring through education and training, further breaking down the two-class system into subclasses and other in the capitalist economy, private ownership of private property um, is the is the main figures of the capitalist economy, and without having private ownership, it has no existence. So, private ownership is a part of individual hand, cited by the economist Adam Smith in his seminal books, The Wealth of Nation. Big private property owners of capital or the means of production are free to employ their capital in the marketplace as they see fit with their own interest at the move. And most businesses are incorporated as for profit entries where the means of capital allocation and production are put to use or in pursuit of business ventures that will be yield them profit. So the capitalist economy work for the more profit and also increase to use their private property to earn the more profit. And next is mean features that capitalist economy work for the self-interest. And Adam Smith says that individual hands in the opportunity for a company to deploy its capital to turns a profit for itself and its owner. So companies refers as a profit motives. For profit companies exist to make a profit, while not for profit companies seek to balance out the cost of the doing businesses usually covered. Usually, companies under the profit motives, companies seek to make and sell goods and services only at a profit. These companies don't exist solely to satisfy people needs, even though some goods or services may satisfy needs. They will only be available if people have the resources to pay for them and if there is a profit for the producer. So profit motives leads to the accumulated to wealth and is driving force behind capital allocation within for profit corporations. The profit motives also allow companies to use some portion of profit to uh, undertakes research and development for future products or services. So, in the uh, capitalist economy, the competition also take place, and without competition, monopolistic will develop and a state of market setting and the prices for goods and services, the seller and the price setter, which is against the tenets of capitalism. So the capitalist economy is related to the types of economic environmental where competition, ownership of property, and free enterprises system prevail. The definitions depict the features of the capitalism. So the capitalist economy is said to be liberal economy because free market determine the demand, supply and price of the market. There is no direct interference of the government in the economy. Some classic example of the capitalist economy as USA, UK, Germany, Singapore. Capitalism is also called a free market economy and has become a very dominant form of economic system post big up of federal society. So people have ownership over in the capitalism economy. Now, I think, and every individual acts according to their self-interest and consider their profit, the overall profit for the society as a whole happens only with the help of the individual hands. And market has many people selling the same goods. There is a tough competition in the market to retain the customer, and the customer will also get many options to choose from. And here also the main principle of the capitalist economy that everyone has equal rights, and the harder you work, the more profit you will get. With it, the essential and the classic competition is the freedom to choose things to do. With it, research and development of new ways to gain profit is to the motive of a market capitalist economy. With it, in capitalism, an incentive is given for out of box thinking and for efficient product of the goods. So, mainly, I have also discussed the features of the capitalist economy. In briefly, we can say existence of private property, freedom of ownership, working on the price mechanism, desire to earn profit, free competition and corporations go together, gives birth to class conflict. The role of an entrepreneurship are the pillars of the maker capitalist economy. So I think you have to understood well what is the features of the capitalist economy. Now we discuss about the types of capitalism. There are many types of capitalism which differ from country to country and area wise. The commonality between them is that all involve a process of production and work for profit. The major type of capitalism are advanced capitalism. This involves setting up a system in society that will prolong over a period of time. Next step, finance capitalist. It is the most important forms of capitalism that rules the capitalist society. The financial institutions dominate other stages politically and economically. Next step, mercantilism. It is early capitalism in late 18th century across the nation. It involved national to state business interest, imperialism, etc. In this trade form, only within the country was engaged and expected, like the colonists who lived in America would purchase goods from their country itself. Next step, free market economy. In this system, the prices of the goods and services on them decided to people involved in the trade that is of supply and demand. They do so according to their knowledge of what will work in their knowledge, of what will work in their favor. The government does not interfere in intervention in this decision. Hence, the prices are set free. Next is state capitalism. As the name suggests, the state dominates the capitalist market economy, and everything is organized and regulated under the supervision of the state, and no one can take dependence decision. No government interferes in working of any private working firm. The firms are free to decide whom they want to keep as implies and how much wages should be given. Neither does the government stop any individual from working where he wants to do. The government sector and the private sector function separately without interfering into each other affairs. I think you have to understood the types of capital. I have also discussed it. Now, impact on market economy. An economy in which decisions regarding investment, production, and distribution are based on supply and demand, where the price is determined with the forces of demand and supply. Price of goods and services are determined in a free price system. The great thing about capitalism is that prices and quantities tend to move towards equilibrium and for the most part keep the market stable. Now we discuss about the advantage of capitalism. Uh, First of all, competition. So competition, freedom to choose, rapid economic growth, private property rights, less poverty and health. So we discussed about the advantage of the, already capitalism in the before. Healthy competition on the biggest benefit of the capitalism is the healthy competition. Competition makes everybody better. When companies compete for business, they have forced to provide a better varieties of services or expanded services and give better consumer services. Competition increased uh, growth. It engages a company to find ways to improve, to not stand on its competition is the part of human nature. As long as human compare themselves to other, uh, they will they will also try to see the best. So competition is the main figure of the capitalist economy. Next, freedom to choice. In the capitalism economy, the we, people have the option of owning something such as land, turning that property into an opportunity such as a farms, a rental property, or even an oil field. If the conditions are right, ownerships and opportunity are key features. So capitalism offers so many benefits. It is and people are free to do use their property and are free to produce, how to produce, what whom to produce. And capitalism is also increased for the rapid economic growth because the rapid economic because the work the people do, they are also get the wages. So trained and skilled people also engage here. So in the capitalism, that means that private property such as property, factories, machineries, plants can be owned under the private individual and companies. And three things covered under the right. Every individual can acquire any amount of property. He can use this property as he wishes. He also has the right on in inheritance. So he can inherit the property from his forefathers, and he can also pass it on his successor on his dad. It is a price mechanism. Price mechanism is like an individual hands that control the working of an capitalist economy. The force of supply and demand will determine the prices and the level of production in the economy. The government will not have any interference in this matter. With it, profit motives, the driving forces behind any capitalist economy is the profit motive. All companies wish to produce and sell their product to maximize their profits. This also um, include healthy competition in the economy. And capitalism, every individual is free to make his own economic choices without any intervention. This includes both the consumer and the producer. So a producer is free to produce any goods or services, and the consumer is free to buy whatever he desires and from whomever he wants without restriction. With it, the producers are more incentive to produce their best goods and services due to the features of the profit motives and ability to hold private property. The economic growth is and economy is also faster and higher in the capitalist economy. This is because the investors will also invest in projects and that are profitable for them. There is no pressure to produce any goods or services if they do not wish to do so for the sake of the public. And all resources and factors of production are under the private ownership. They are used it in it the most productive manners. This result in the optimum utilization of resources. Consumer also benefits in a capitalist economy. Firstly, they have the freedom to choose whichever product or services they wish to buy. Also, the competition is high, or producers are motivated to make their best product in the large quantity as a reasonable prices. And capitalists also promote fundamental rights of freedoms and choices for both the consumer and the producer. With it, in the capitalist economy, there is an incentive for the technological and uh, rapid and development and growth development. So, I think you have to understand what is the advantage of the capitalist economy. Now, we discuss about the disadvantage of the capitalism economy. First of all, waste and pollutions. Next, economic inequality. Next, greed. Next, exploitations of labor. Next, monopoly behavior. And inequality creates social division. It means, so as we read many demerits of the capitalist economy, capitalism can lead to income and wealth inequality as some uh, individual and businesses accumulate more resources and wealth than others. This can lead to social and political tensions and create challenges for policymakers seeking to ensure inequitable access to economic opportunity. With it, capitalism relies on the free market to allocate resources and determine prices, but markets can fail to allocate resources efficiently or inequitably in certain situations, such as during market monopolies or externalities like pollution. Government intervention is often required to correct these market failures. With it, capitalists often prioritize economic growth over environmental sustainabilities, leading to negative environmental impact such as pollution and resources destroy waste, resources waste. This can have long-term consequence for the planet and future generations. With it, capitalism is prone to business cycle, which can lead to economic instability and fluctuations in the employment, income, and production. This can create uncertainty and instability for individuals and businesses and the broader economy. Big capitalism places a strong emphasis on its individual responsibilities and self-reliance, uh, uh, which can lead to limited social safety net for those who fall in hard times. This can create challenges for individuals and families facing economic hardship or adversity. With it, capitalists also create big distinction between rich and people's low rich and people, and also has a great distinction between caste, colors, etc. With it, capitalism has a led to unequal distribution of wealth resources between developed and developing countries. This can create challenges for policymakers seeking to promote economic development and reduce poverty in the world. So, And now we discuss about the capitalist countries: United States, United Kingdom, Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, or Iceland. So it is considered the epitome of the capitalist economy. It has a highly developed and diversification economy with um, sorry, uh, uh, with a strong emphasis on entrepreneurships, innovations, and individual freedom. With it, the United Kingdom has a long history of capitalist economy with a focus on international trade and finance. It has a highly developed financial sector and is home to many multinational corporations. With it, Japan is also another example of capitalist economy with a focus on manufacturing and technological innovation. It has a highly skilled workforce and many of its companies are known for their high quality producer. With it, Germany has a mixed economy with a strong emphasis on the manufacturing, exports, and innovation. It has a highly skilled workforce, and many of its companies are known for their precision, energy, and high quality product. With it, Hong Kong is a small but highly developed country with a strong emphasis on international trade and finance. It has a low tax rate and the minimum government regulation, making it 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 are popular destinations for the businesses and entrepreneurs. Singapore is another small but highly developed country with a strong emphasis on international trade and finance. It has a highly educated workforce and favorable business climate, making it a popular destination for multinational corporations. Socialism economy. A socialism economy is an economic system in which the means of production, such as land, factories, and machineries, are owned and controlled by the state or the as a whole, rather than by private individual or corporations. In socialist economy, resources are allocated according to the needs of society and there is a little or no emphasis on profit or competition. The goal of a socialism economy is to create an equal distribution and wealth and resources among all members of society. So, in simple words, we can say a socialist economy is an economic system where the factors of production like labor, natural resources, or capital goods are under the control of government. Determination of price by the government. While in a capitalist economy, the demand and supply forces influenced the price of goods and services. So, a socialist economy is also called a socialism. Socialism is a term applied to an economic system in which property is held in common and not individually, and relationships are governed by a political hierarchy. Common ownerships doesn't mean decisions are made collectively, however, instead individual in positions of authority make decisions in the name of the collective group. So, generally speaking, a socialist system in which there is a collective ownership of means of production, central planning, and a broad emphasis of equality. Uh, a socialism economy, Karl Marx was the most prominent voice of the socialism and believed the working class would rise up against the wealthy when faced with injustice. Most modern nation doesn't believe in the socialist economy. Socialist economy is that economy where the government has full control over the economy. So the idea of class conflict lies to the heart of socialism. It is formulated by Karl Marx, believed low-income workers faced with inequality. Uh, he is also the founder of the socialist economy. Maybe socialism economy comprises the economic theories, practices, and norms of hypothetical and presenting the socialist economic system. A socialist economic system is characterized by the social ownership and operate of the means of production that may take the forms of autonomous cooperatives or direct public ownership, wherein production is carried out directly for use rather than for profit. Socialist system that utilizes markets for allocating capital goods and factors of production among economic units and designed market socialism. When planning is utilized, the economic system is designed as a socialist planned economy. So, a socialist economy is a system of production where goods and services are produced directly for use. In contrast, as to a capitalist economy where goods and services are produced to generate profit, production by and production under socialist economy would be directly for use with the natural and technical resources of the world held in common and controlled democratically. So, goods and services would be produced for their usefulness and for their use value, and eliminating the needs for market, including the reduced needs to ensure a sufficient amount of demand for product to be sold for public benefits. Protection in a socialist economy is therefore planned or coordinated. It does not suffer from the capitalist cycle. So, Karl Marx state that lower stage communities would consist of the compensations based on the amount of labor one contributes to the social product. So, uh, objective of the project is the viewpoint that the history of the socialism economy. This type of economy is for the welfare of the people as our country is particularly significantly importance to study about the welfare economy as profit maximization cannot be objective of our country at the face hands. This project would study various aspects of the socialist economy in an order to derive its features and to out position that can be implemented and executed in our country. So, in the socialism economy, all citizens gets the benefits from the production of goods and services on the basis of rights. Hence, this types of economy is also known as the command economy. So, basically, in a socialist economy, private companies or individuals are not allowed free manufactures the goods and services and production occurs according to the needs of the society and command the state or planning activities. The market and the factors of supply and demand will play no role here. The ultimate aims of the socialist economy is to ensure the maximizations of wealth of a whole community, a whole country. Its aim to have an equal distribution of wealth amongst its all citizens, not just a welfare of its richest companies and individuals. So, the first organization organized theories of the socialist economies were significantly impacted by the classical economics theory included elements in Adam Smith, Robert Malthus, and David Ricardo. So in Smith, there is a conception of the common goods not provided by the market. Class analysis are concerned from the of the factory system and the concept of rent as being unpredictable. So, we discuss the features of a socialist economy. First of all, economic, social, and political equality. And for socialist economy, there is almost equality, which means rich and poor. There is no problem of class struggle, public or collective ownerships of resources. Uh, in this economy, are the material means of production are owned and used by the state organs. However, it doesn't mean that private enterprise and private property are really non-existing in socialist economy, but their relative importance is so significant that they can be ignored. I will also discuss it first of all as a economic plan. A socialism economy is a fully planned economy. Planning may be centralized or decentralized or the basis decision for the control and regulations of the economy are taken by government. Similarly, or the basis of strategic functions are formed according to a defined plan. Formulations of plans is the responsibilities of our central planning authorities. It means in our socialist economy, there is always a central planning committee. Decide what is to be produced using the resources. It will also decide the quantity and the methods of production. The ultimate aims of such authority is to fulfill the social economy of the state. Next step, social welfare motives. In our socialism economy, this research, research are used in production process to maximize social welfare. So, it's private profit. Social welfare is the basis of all economic decisions and economic policies. Um, price policy is guided by social welfare motives. Everyone is tied to the benefits of socialized production on the basis of equal rights. It means in the socialist economy, the entire foundation is based on social economic object. The welfare of the takes first place over the profit place. And so all major factors and resources of production are in the ownership of the state itself. Only small firms and trading firms are kept under the private ownerships. So, and next, little importance of the price mechanism. In socialist economy, price mechanism is given a minor role. Resource allocation, a specific plan based on social needs provides guidelines for resources allocations. However, in democratic socialism, the price system is allowed some role according to the size of the private sector. So, as you know, every coin has two sides. So, in the socialist economy, every citizen is guaranteed basic goods like food, clothing, shelter, etc. Consumers do not have absolute freedom. Choice. Uh, Demand for product they wish. They must choose from the products the state manufactures. Since there is no free market, there is no concept of preference of or demand and supplies. Also, while every citizen will get work, he is not able to freely choose his occupation. Now, next step, there are cooperative. Socialist economy is a planned economy. No plan uh, can possibly succeed without the active participation of people. Therefore, while fixing the priorities of plans, the central planning authorities keeps in mind the interest of the community to seek the active participation of people in implementations of plan. The government may provide social incentives. It's one of the main feature of the socialism economy. The setup does not allow only one person to create a lot of gaps, so the gap between the rich and poor must narrower, and all their citizens enjoy equal opportunities and facilities like educations, public health care, etc. So there is no discrimination between different classes of plan, and every birth should be planned. Lack of competition. The resources are in government ownership. Therefore, government decision how and what to be produced. So here, uh, it is that it is that everything in the society has control over the government. So government take every decision what should be produced, how should be produced, for whom should be produced. Next time, not states of social parasites. In our social economy, the society is not divided between helps and helps nodes. It means between master and servant, between very rich and very poor. In other words, the society is not classified between the capitalist and working class. Here, all are masters and all are workers. The philosophy of the socialism economy is each according to its needs and from each according to its thus there is no place of social parasites and no possibilities of exploitation. So in the social the gap between the rich and poor must be narrower and all their citizens enjoy opportunities and facilities like education, health, and other facilities. There is no discrimination between different classes of people. Next step, equality of opportunities. Socialism guarantees equality of opportunities and equal pay for equal work. Government does not discriminate among members of the society on the basis of caste, creed, religions, and sects. In short, socialism becomes not a controlled and regulated by market mechanism. It is a comprehensively planned economy. This economy is in sharp contrast to a capitalist economy. So, the motive welfare of people. Since this profit price mechanism will not influence any predicted decision, and the pricing structure in a socialist economy is administered pricing. So it's also called planned economy also. So socialism economy is that economy which work for the welfare of the people, not for work for profit. So a country is following various principles and norms which direct to the socialist economy meaning. In that case, they also so many characteristics are considered for the socialist economy as primary that ownership should be collective. It is the primary features of the socialism that explain the ownership of all goods and production is for the government, not for any individual. And socialist aims to attain the equality between rich and people. The prediction uh, of class, caste, skin color will be achieved with the principle of socialism, and as the government has the power, uh, it sets some goals and makes necessary plans to achieve the goals. it has to in the growth of the economy. With it, socialism economy no place for competition. It looks like a solo business, and profit are shareable to the whole country. And with it, as the government plays a vital role in all activities like decision making, financial issues, policies, production. It should be utilized positively. The government should not misuse it. With it, in socialism, the government should delegate work based on the individual's ability and provide ways according to their needs to achieve the maintain transparencies. With it, mean the main motto of the socialism is to achieve social welfare. It refers of the growth of the society, especially for people, poor people. There should be no lower class and high class. With it, if the government plays monotony, there is no scope for marketing and advertising sale. If the options are less, then the occupancy will be more. And with it, in the socialist economy, the equal distribution of the income among all the citizens will discard the difference between rich and people. Education, hospital, and other facilities are open and equal to entire uh, nation. There are several features of the socialist economy, whereas a country follows all uh, these, and then it is the best socialist country and stand top of the world. The countries which understand what a socialist economy is and implements in their system are treated as a socialist economy. So where I in now socialism economy example countries. The many of the countries follow the principle of the combined economy. Some states are capitalism, but some states are socialism. As we also discussed here, the Chinese government has adopted a mixed economic system which elements of both socialism and capitalism. The state owns the control key industries such as energy, telecommunications, and transportations, while allowing private enterprise in other sectors. With it, Cuba has a socialism economy in which the state owns the control almost all means of production and the government provides free healthcare and education to all citizens, and there is a focus on meeting basic needs rather than creating profits. With it, North Korea is a highly centralized socialist economy in which the government owns and control uh, all means of production. The country has a command economy with no private enterprises. Vietnam has a socialism oriented market economy, which means that the state owns and control key industries while allowing private enterprise in other sectors. The country has implemented economic reforms to encourage foreign investment and modernize its economy. Laos is a socialist country in which the government owns and control most means of production. The country's economy is heavily dependent on agriculture and natural resources. Venezuela has a mixed economy that combines elements of socialism and capitalism. The government owns and control key industries such as oil, while allowing private enterprise in other sectors. In recent years, the country has faced economic challenges, including high inflations and the shortage of basic goods. So these are countries which are also following the principles of the socialist economy. Now we discuss about the socialism economy merits. Uh, some of the strengths and associated with the socialist economy include equality, uh, Socialism aims to create a more equal distribution of wealth and resources, which can lead to a more equitable society. As you know, I have also discussed that the equal distribution of income among all citizens will also take place, and there is no gap between rich and people. And the motto of the socialist economy is to achieve social welfare, and it is the government should delegates work based on the individual ability and provides ways according to their needs and to achieve and maintain transparency with the next step social welfare. um, Socialism places a greater emphasis on social welfare and provides universal access of healthcare, education, and other basic needs. It means the main motto of the socialist economy to achieve the welfare. It refers to the growth of society, especially for poor people. There should be no lower class, no higher class, no rich, no poor, and stability. The state control key industries and resources, which can help in prevent economic instability and ensure that the resources are uh, allocated in a planned and coordination manners as a government play a vital role in all activities, decisions, making financial issues, policies, production. So it should be utilized positively and it have equality and uh, stability in the economy because the government shouldn't misuse it because government never work for the profit. Greater control. The government has greater control over the economy, which can allow for more efficient resources allocation and reduce the influence of powerful corporation and individual. So socialist economy is to attain equality between the rich and people and class and eradications of class, caste, skin color will be achieved with the principle of socialist economy. It is the primary features of socialism economy to explain the ownership of all goods of production is for the government and not for any individual. So the government has a greater control over the economy. Share ownership, collective ownerships to the means of production can lead to the greater collaborations and sense of community. So, in the socialist economy, ownership should be collective, and it means explain ownership all goods of production is for the government, not for any individual, any particular person. There are several types of socialism, also every types of focus various aspects in the socialism economy, as I also discussed with you. This is as democratic socialist. Here the produced goods can be managed by the elected community. They will plan for the distribution of consumer goods provided by the government. With it, and revolutionary socialism. The revolution should be on capitalism and need not be violent. And libertarian socialism, people should gain freedom from colors, caste, creed, and also be equal economically, socially, and politically. With it, Fabian socialism, it is a completely non-violent method used in the 19th century by the British government. They adapt to socialism through peace and with it utopian socialism is a main motto to is equal. They will give a priority to the high class scale industrialization. With the Christian socialism, the teaching of Christianity imply brotherhood and the same bonding is encouraged by socialism. Green socialism, it is another types of socialism that focuses on the improving natural resources for a great extent so that the scarcity of the food does not occur and the country may have peace forever. And with it, market socialism. In this socialism, as the workers get control over production, they can sell or at the free market of affordable prices and can share the profit among all. No space for creating artificial demands. So there are many types of socialism also. So now we discuss about the socialism economy demerits. Some of the challenges associated with the socialism economy include inefficiency. First of all, inefficiency. Central planning can be inefficient and slow. As you saw, the government work is always very slow, as decisions are made by a central planning authority rather than by market forces of supply and demand. Lack of innovation. The absence of competition so can lead to a lack of innovation because this work for the welfare, not for the profit, and innovation is the causes of profit and motivations improve production and services with its shortage. Price control and state ownership can be lead to shortage of goods and services, particularly if there are inefficiencies in production and distribution process. Next time, limited individual freedom. Collective ownership can be limit individual freedom and authority as economic decisions are made collectively rather than individually. Next step corruption. State control over the economy can create opportunities for corruption and abuse of power, particularly if there is limited transparencies and accountability. Next, limited economic growth. Without the incentive of profits, economic growth can be limited, which can make it difficult for the economy up to keep up with the demand of a growing population. So, as you see in your present time, socialism is a breeding ground for corruption, red tapism, and favoritism. The state and the central planning authority hold too much of the power, which may often abuse for their personal gains. And it is essentially restrictions of the freedom of its citizens. They do not have a choice in the products they wish to buy or the job they want to do. Their freedom is further curtailed by the inability to own any private property. With it, every citizen has the guarantee of a job. So, socialism does not promote hard work or any creativity in its citizen. Administrative prices are not the most efficient. They are not based on market forces. Um, market forces, thus the economic and scientific allocation of resources is impossible in this system. Sometimes under socialism, we end up creating state monopolies, which can get very dangerous with time. So briefly, we can say socialist economy, the setup is exactly opposite to that of a capitalist economy. In such an economy, the factors of production are all state owned. So all the factories, machineries, plants, capital, etc., is owned by the community in control of the state. Government has a greater control. All citizens get the benefits from the production of goods and services on the basis of equal rights. Hence, this types of economy is also called known as command economy. So basically, in a socialism economy, private companies or individuals are not allowed to freely manufacture the goods and services, and the production occurs according to the needs of the society and the at command of the state or planning authorities. The market and the factors of supply and demands will play no role here. The ultimate aim of the socialist economy is to ensure the maximization of wealth of a whole community as a whole country. It aims to have an equal distribution of wealth amongst all its citizens, not just the welfare to its richest companies and the individual. So, hope student you well understood what is the socialism economy, what is the example of the socialism economy, the countries which are following the socialism principle and merits of the socialist economy and demerits of the socialist economy. Mixed economy. A mixed economic system is one that combines aspects of both capitalism and socialism. A mixed economic system accepts private properties and permits economic freedom in the use of capital, but also allows for governments to interfere in economic activities in order to achieve social aims. It means the mixed economy is a system that combines capitalism and socialism. The mixed economy incorporates the benefits of capitalism and socialism while avoiding their drawbacks. So, a mixed economy, the private and public sector coexist. Economic activity is directed by the government toward particular socially significant sectors of the economy, and the balance is determined by the operations of the pricing mechanism. So, in the mixed economy, the public and private sectors collaborate to achieve social objectives within the framework of a common economic plan. The private sector is a significant component of the mixed economy and is regarded as a critical engine of the economic growth. India is widely recognized as the world's best example of a mixed economy. So, according to new classical theory, mixed economy are less efficient, but are less efficient than pure free markets. But the classical economists are not in the favor of the mixed economy. However, proponents of the government's because they doesn't want government interference. Uh, uh, Proponents of government interventions argue that the base conditions required for efficiency in free markets, such as equal information and rational market participation, cannot be achieved in practical applications. So, a mixed economy combines elements of both, as I discussed with you, capitalism and socialism, blending market force with some degree of government interventions to address various economic and social issues. So, so we can say a mixed economy is an economic organization with some free market elements and some socialistic elements. It relies on a continuum between pure capitalism and pure socialism. Mixed economy typically accept private ownership of most means of production with some government interventions, mainly through regulations. And mixed economy socialize select industries that are deemed essential or for that produce public goods. Mixed economy socialized select industries that are deemed essential or that produce public goods. All known historical and modern economies an example of mixed economy. So, mixed economy, you can say, combined elements of both capitalism and socialism. Now, we are also discuss the main key characteristics of the mixed economy. First of all, coexistence of public and private sector. In the mixed economy, both private and public enterprises operate within the economy. The private sector drives competition, innovations, and efficiency, while the public sector provides essential services and goods that may not be adequately addressed by the market. Next, market mechanism and plan. The economy largely relies on the market mechanism for resource allocations, with prices determined by supply and demand. However, the government may intervene to correct market failures, ensure economic stability, and achieve social goals through planning and regulations. Next is regulation and control. Um, in mixed economy, the government regulates the industries to prevent monopolies, protect consumers, ensure and fair competitions, and promote ethical business practices. This includes environmental regulation, labor law, and consumer protections measures. Next, social welfare programs. In mixed economy, the government provides social welfare programs such as healthcare, education, unemployment benefits, and pensions. Ensure a safety net for all citizens and reduce economic inequality. State social stabilization through fiscal and monetary policies. The government aims to stabilize the economy, controlling inflation, reducing unemployment, and promoting sustainable economic growth. This includes adjusting interest rate, taxations, and government spendings. Public services and next step, public services and infrastructure. The government invests in the managed essential services and infrastructures such as transportation, water supply, electricity, and public safety, ensuring they are accessible and affordable. Next step, protection of, redistribution of income and wealth. Progressive taxations and social welfare policies aim to reduce income and wealth disparities. This involves taxing higher incomes at higher rates and redistributing wealth through public services and direct support to lower income individuals. Next step, protections of property rights. Private property rights are protected, but they are balanced with the public interest. The government may ex- expropriate private property for public use, typically with compensations to serve broader social and economic goals. Next step, mixed economic goal. Uh, the economic the economic goal and multiple objectives of mixed economy, including economic efficiency, equality, growth, sustainability. This balance is achieved by the strength of both market dynamics and government interventions. Next step, innovation and entrepreneurship. A mixed economy increase innovation and entrepreneurships through supporting policies, investments in research and development, and a business-friendly environment, while also ensuring that the benefits of the innovations are widely shared. Next step, flexible economic policies. Policies are adaptable to changing economic conditions and social needs, allowing for a dynamic approach to governments that can address issues as they arise, the leverage the strengths of both the market and the state. So, by blending elements of both capitalism and socialism, a mixed economy seeks to combine the efficiency and innovations of market-driven economies with the quality and social welfare objectives of more planned economies, striving to achieve a balanced and sustainable economic system. So, in simple, we can say a mixed economy combines the characteristics of capitalism and socialism. In such an economy, public and private sector both exist, each aiming at different objectives. Private enterprises focus on making profits, while the government sector works to benefit the citizens. This coexistence of different entries have accelerate in countries' economic growth. India is a mixed economy. During India's imperial rules, the economy faced stagnations, prompting adoptions of new policies of increased scientific, industrial, and technological advantage. As you all know, in 1948 and 1956, the implementations of several industrial policies led to a shift towards a mixed economy. In this approach, private enterprises operate independently but are guided by the mechanism set by the government, ensuring they are not entirely free from governance. The liberalization of Indian economy in 1991 gave the private sector a significant boost, accelerating in its and also gave the uh, authority to work. Um, if we also can take India is a mixed economy. Also, as we discussed the characteristics of the Indian economy, controlled by the free economic development. In a mixed economy, the government increase as in India free economic activities while simultaneously implementing necessary controls to avoid downsides of other economic systems. And India mixed economy emphasizes economic welfare, fiscal and monetary policies, urged private entries to contribute towards the large economic welfare, while the public sector provides employment opportunities. It also implements price policies that prioritize economic welfare over profit maximization. With it, the government undertakes economic planning and implements measures and policies. Both public and private sector operate according to the predetermined guidelines and promoting coordinations development. With it, the government has the authority to exercise price control and regulations. In normal circumstances, it allows industries to freely determine prices, but in emergencies, it can impose control and distributes goods to the public distribution systems. With it, as I also mentioned highly, highlights characteristics of a mixed economy is that the sense of the both private and public sector uh, to elaborate heavy industries like atomic energy and defense equipments come under the purview of the public sector. The private sector includes agriculture, smaller enterprises, cottage industries, and consumer goods. Moreover, the government of India also assists in the operations and growth of these private sectors. So, in India, we also see there are several advantages of the mixed economy. First of all, just freedom. India's mixed economy offers freedom to economic units, allowing factors of predictions to choose their occupations, encouraging private enterprises initiatives, and enabling consumers to dispose of their incomes within the established policies. So here we also see main features of the mixed economy. Mixed economy has following main features: coexistence of private and public sectors, personal freedoms, private property to allow economic planning, private mechanism and control price, profit motives and social welfare, check on economic inequalities, control of monopoly power. As I also discussed with you, coexistence of private and public sector. In the mixed economy, I have also discussed that under this system, there is coexistence of public and private sectors. In public sector, industries like defense, power. So industries like defense, power, energy, basic industry, etc. are set. On the other hand, in private sector, all consumer goods industries, agriculture, small scale industries are developed. The government increase both the sector to develop simultaneously. Next is personal freedom. Under mixed economy, there is a full freedom of choice of occupations, although consumer doesn't get complete liberty. But at the same time, government can regulate prices in interest through the public distribution system. Next thing, private property is allowed. In mixed economy, private property is allowed. However, here is it is must remember that there must be equal distribution of wealth and income. It must be ensured that the profit and property may not concentrate in a few pockets. And that's the economic planning. In a mixed economy, government always tries to promote economic development of the country. For this purpose, economic planning is adopted. Thus, economic planning is very essential under this system. Next is price mechanism and control prices. Under this system, price mechanism and regulated price operate simultaneously. In consumer goods industries, price mechanism is generally followed. However, at a time of big shortage or during national emergencies, prices are controlled and public distribution system has to meet effective. Next, profit motives and social welfare. In mixed economic system, there are both profit motives like capitalism and social welfare as in socialist economy. Next, check on economic inequalities. In this system, government takes several measures to reduce the gap between rich and poor through progressive taxations on income and wealth. The subsidies are given to the poor people. Also, job opportunities are provided to them. Other stuff like concessions, old age pensions, free medical facilities, and free education are also taken to improve the standard of the poor people. And all these helps to reduce economic inequalities. Next, like control to monopoly power. Under this system, government takes huge initiatives to control monopoly practices among the private entrepreneurs through effective legislative measures. Besides, government can also take over these services in the public interest. So these are the main features of the mixed economy. Hope student you well understood what are the features of the mixed economy. Now, thank you very much.